Hey, this is Paul from Wondershare MobileTrans, and Samsung have given us, over the past couple of weeks, the Galaxy S21 and the Galaxy S21 Ultra, and you might be thinking, which of these phones is good for me? I wish I could see a side-by-side comparison of both phones together. So that is what we're going to do in this video. We're going to have a look at both the Galaxy S21 and the Galaxy S21 Ultra. The plan in this video is to have a look at both the Galaxy S21 and the Galaxy S21 Ultra side by side, give you a list of specs, and hopefully by the end of the video you can decide which one of these phones you might want to pick up. So let's go and have a look at these phones straight away. And the first thing we will look at is the most important thing when buying a new phone, and that is the price of the phone. The price for the Galaxy S21 is about $750, which is actually a bit cheaper than the Galaxy S20 was last year, so that's not too bad. And if you have a bit more money that you want to spend, then maybe the Galaxy S21 Ultra is something you want to go for, because that starts at $1,000. So there is a bit of a price difference in these two phones, but it's all depending on what you can afford and the specs that these phones offer you. The next thing you might want to look at then is the size between these phones. So on the Galaxy S21 you get a 6.2-inch display, and then on the Galaxy S21 Ultra you get a massive 6.8-inch display. And these two displays don't sound like there's much between them, but once you get them in your hand you can really tell that the Galaxy S21 is a one-handed phone when the Galaxy S21 Ultra is not. You will need both hands if this is something that you want to use. The next difference then when you're looking at the screens is, obviously we've done size, the next thing is the resolution of both of these screens. So the regular S21 has a screen resolution of 1080 by 2400, and in no way is that a bad display. But then you go and look at the Galaxy S21 Ultra and the resolution of that screen is 1440 by 3200, so there is a big difference in terms of what the screens can do. But I think that if you are maybe just a regular user and you watch a bit of YouTube and that's probably about it, then the Galaxy S21 might be the actual perfect phone in terms of screen for you. One thing though that both these phones do have in common is that refresh rate. So this year all the Galaxy S21s, whether it be the regular, the Plus or the Ultra, have 120Hz display. And if you have not used a 120Hz display before, then maybe it's time to start using one, because this is lovely. It really does make the phone that little bit better using it. And the only other difference here in the screens is that if you need a brighter display, so it's bright outside and you need to see a display, then the Galaxy S21 Ultra does have a little bit more brightness at 1500 nits, but maybe this is something that you wouldn't even notice. Another thing that both of these phones share is that they both come with 5G. So all the S21s this year come with 5G, which means if you can get 5G speeds where you live, then it really might not matter to you in terms of what phones you pick up here, because they all do get that 5G and all get the exact same data speeds. They even go as far, these phones, as to share the same processor, so that might be that Exynos 2100 or that Snapdragon 888, and that's depending on where you pick these phones up in the world. But now you might be sat there thinking, well, these phones really do sound exactly the same except for some screen size. But now is where things start to change, just ever so slightly, between the S21 regular and the S21 Ultra. The first difference that you start to notice is the RAM size on these phones. So the Galaxy S21 regular comes with just 8GB of RAM, whereas the S21 Ultra starts at 12 and can go double the regular S21 at going up to 16GB of RAM. And the RAM might be something you don't notice on a day-to-day basis. If you're an average user of a phone, then 16GB of RAM will probably be too much, and the Galaxy's S21's 8GB will probably just be perfect. But you start to notice the difference when you start to really use these phones and push it as far as it can for things like gaming or video editing or photo editing. Then the Galaxy S21 Ultra's 12 or 16GB of RAM does really start to show, and it helps you push through some of these tasks that you might be asking your phone to do. And while we're talking about differences, let's stick with some differences, and the battery size is one of the biggest differences between both of these phones, where the Galaxy S21 Ultra has a 5000 mAh battery, whereas the regular Galaxy S21 has just a 4000 mAh battery. The regular S21's battery is not bad in any way at all and will easily get you through a day's usage usage, whether you're taking some photos and videos, a bit of gaming or social media, then it should be absolutely fine. But the Galaxy S21 Ultra, that is something that you can really push and still have battery for a second day's usage. So we haven't got close to even killing it in a first day's usage yet. So the 5,000 milliamp hour battery is a really big step up. And for me, it's probably one of the most important factors you should look at when getting a new phone. Now, the thing that people want to hear about is the cameras on both of these phones, and they do differ. So the S21 and the S21 Ultra do have almost completely different camera systems. So let's start with the regular S21 first of all. And on the rear of that phone, there is a triple camera setup. You get a 12 megapixel main lens. You then go on down just a little bit, and then you get that 64 megapixel telephoto lens, and then just below that is that 12 megapixel ultra wide lens. And these three lenses, these three cameras on this phone are incredible. They take some really good photos, and it gives you pretty much everything that you would ever need from a phone in terms of cameras. You even get a 3x hybrid zoom, so those zooming photos on that telephoto lens look incredible. And then you might just think, well, that's all I need from a camera system on a phone. But the Galaxy S21 Ultra takes it up just another level with a quad-core setup of cameras on the back of that phone. It really steps it up on that main camera first of all, with a 108 megapixel main lens compared to that 12 megapixel that the regular S21 gives you. You then get a 10 megapixel telephoto lens and a 12 megapixel ultra wide, but where the game changer really comes in is in this next camera. You get a 10 megapixel periscope lens, and if you've never seen photos or used this periscope lens before, then this is something that you need to try out because it allows you to zoom in to objects 100 times, so you can get so close to a subject from being 100 times away. You can zoom in up to 30 times on this Galaxy S21 Ultra, and the photo that it gives you is some of the best zoom photos I think I may have ever seen. There's a difference in selfie camera as well on both of the phones, where you get a 40 megapixel selfie camera on that S21 Ultra and then just a 10 megapixel selfie camera on the regular S21. And then you have video as well, and both these phones can record up to 8K in 24 frames per second. Both phones start at 128 gigabytes of storage, and that is probably enough for most people. The Galaxy S21 can go up to 256, but the Galaxy S21 Ultra can go up to 512 gigs. And if you're going to be using your phone to take 8K video and 4K video, then it might be an idea just to bump up that storage to make sure over the next couple of years that your phone doesn't run out of any space. You can unlock both of these phones as well with that under the screen fingerprint reader, and the under the screen fingerprint reader is exactly the same on both phones, so you're not going to lose out by getting a regular 21 if you didn't get the Galaxy S21 Ultra. To be honest, both of these phones are incredible phones, and if you want something that is a one-handed phone, then probably the Galaxy S21 regular is something that you want to pick up. But if you want a phone that is bigger, a bit better, and does even more than you'll ever need on a phone, then the Galaxy S21 Ultra is probably the phone that you want to go to. So let us know in the comments below, what Samsung Galaxy phone this year are you going to pick up? Are you going to go for the regular S21, or are you going to go all out and go and get that S21 Ultra? If you enjoyed this video, then a like would be brilliant, and also why not subscribe to the MobileTrans channel so you don't miss out on any of our future videos, and we will see you on the next one.